Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, we are diving into a fascinating story about a coin that at first glance seems like ordinary pocket change, but in reality, is an extraordinary treasure worth millions. Yes, we are talking about the 2005 1-cent coin, a penny that has captured the imagination of collectors and numismatists alike due to its rare errors and mistakes that have catapulted its value to an astonishing $34 million. You might be wondering, what could possibly make a simple 2005 penny worth such an unimaginable sum? The answer lies in the unique and extremely rare errors that occurred during its minting process, errors that are so uncommon that they have turned this coin into one of the most sought-after pieces in modern numismatics. One of the primary reasons for its incredible value is the occurrence of what experts call a double die error, where the coin's design was inadvertently struck more than once with slight misalignment. This results in doubled features that are very noticeable to the trained eye, particularly in the inscriptions and the date. For the 2005 penny, these doubled impressions can appear on the word Liberty, the motto In God We Trust, or even the numerals of the year itself, creating a surreal and highly collectible variation that is not found in the vast majority of coins minted that year. But that is just the beginning. Another remarkable error that contributes to this coin's value is the phenomenon known as a die crack or die break, where the metal die used to strike the coin develops a crack, leaving a raised line of metal on the coin's surface. In the case of the 2005 penny, some specimens exhibit intricate die cracks that form patterns resembling small scratches or even miniature designs, which collectors refer to as spider webs for veining. These imperfections, though technically mistakes, are incredibly desirable because they are unpredictable and impossible to replicate, making each affected coin one of a kind. Additionally, there have been instances of planchette errors in the 2005 penny, which occur when the blank metal disc that becomes the coin is defective in some way. Some of these coins were struck on improperly prepared planchets, resulting in off-center designs, uneven thickness, or incomplete impressions that are highly prized in the collecting world. Imagine holding a coin in your hand and noticing that the entire design is shifted, giving it an almost surreal appearance as if it were a miniature work of abstract art. This is the thrill that drives collectors to pay extraordinary sums for such rare anomalies. Beyond the physical errors, the 2005 penny also carries a story of limited production and scarcity that further enhances its value. While millions of pennies were minted that year, only a tiny fraction exhibit the rare errors we have just described, and among those, only a few have been preserved in pristine condition. This combination of rarity, eye-catching errors, and perfect preservation creates a perfect storm of desirability, leading to the mind-blowing valuations we are seeing today. It is also worth noting that some coins were mistakenly struck with different metal compositions, such as leftover copper from previous year's minting runs or unusual alloy mixtures that were not standard for the 2005 production. These anomalies, while often unnoticed at first glance, can dramatically increase a coin's value once detected by an expert numismatist using magnification and precise measurements. Collectors are constantly searching for these hidden gems, knowing that even a minor deviation from the standard can transform a common penny into a multi-million-dollar treasure. The 2005 1-cent coin also benefits from a fascinating historical context. It was minted during a transitional period when the U.S. Mint was refining its processes to improve efficiency and reduce errors, which ironically contributed to the creation of these extremely rare mistakes. The human element in the minting process, slight misalignments, unnoticed planchette defects, or minute variations in die preparation, combined with the sheer volume of coins produced, created an environment where such extraordinary errors could appear. Each coin tells a story of meticulous craftsmanship intertwined with unpredictable accidents, making them not just currency but also a tangible piece of history. Beyond its physical and historical significance, the 2005 penny has sparked intense interest in the collector community due to the extreme prices it has achieved at auctions and private sales. Dealers and numismatic experts constantly monitor the market for any appearance of these rare coins, and the mere rumor of one being available can generate a frenzy of bidding that drives its price even higher. For instance, a single verified 2005 penny exhibiting the double die error and die cracks, preserved in mint condition, can attract offers in the tens of millions of dollars, and sometimes even more when sold to private collectors who understand its rarity and long-term investment potential. This remarkable value is a testament to the unique combination of chance, error, and preservation that makes coin collecting such a thrilling pursuit. The excitement does not stop at just owning the coin. Many collectors delight in the detailed study and analysis of these errors, documenting every crack, line, and doubled letter to ensure authenticity and historical record. This scholarly aspect of numismatics adds an intellectual dimension to the hobby, transforming a simple penny into a subject of study, admiration, and sometimes intense debate among experts. Some collectors even enjoy comparing multiple specimens of the 2005 penny to understand the subtle differences between errors, variations in die cracks, and the degree of doubling, effectively turning their collection into a miniature museum of rare minting phenomena. Moreover, the 2005 penny serves as a powerful reminder that even the most seemingly mundane objects can harbor extraordinary value when rare errors occur. It challenges our perception of money, showing that the worth of a coin is not merely in its face value, but in its uniqueness, its history, and the stories embedded in its metal surface. The fact that a 1-cent coin could reach a valuation of $34 million demonstrates the immense potential hidden in everyday objects when human error intersects with rarity and collector passion. The narrative of the 2005 penny has inspired a new generation of coin collectors to inspect their loose change with renewed curiosity, knowing that even a coin from 2005, which many might overlook, could potentially be a once-in-a-lifetime find. This phenomenon underscores a broader principle in numismatics: attention to detail, patience, and knowledge can transform a humble object into an extraordinary asset. Collectors are encouraged to study minting records, understand die varieties, and learn to identify anomalies such as double dies, die cracks, planchette errors, and off-center strikes. The pursuit itself becomes an adventure, a treasure hunt where the reward is not just monetary, but also the thrill of discovery, the joy of solving a puzzle, and the pride in owning a piece of history that few others can claim. In addition, the 2005 1-cent coin exemplifies how the market for rare coins can defy conventional economic expectations. While inflation and traditional investments fluctuate, the market for such exceptional numismatic pieces remains robust, driven by scarcity, desirability, and the passion of collectors willing to pay extraordinary sums for a single coin. It also illustrates the intersection of art, history, and finance, as these coins are appreciated not only for their monetary value but also for their aesthetic imperfections and the narrative they carry from the minting process. Ultimately, the 2005 1-cent coin's staggering $34 million valuation is a culmination of numerous factors: the rare double die and die crack errors, unusual planchette anomalies, limited production of affected coins, exceptional preservation, historical context, market demand, and the sheer human fascination with rarity and uniqueness. Each of these elements combines to create a coin that is far more than just currency. It is a symbol of unpredictability, a testament to the delicate balance between perfection and mistake, and a highly coveted object in the world of numismatics. As collectors continue to scour the globe for these elusive pennies, the legend of the 2005 1-cent coin only grows, inspiring awe and excitement in anyone who appreciates the intricate details and remarkable stories hidden in the smallest corners of history. So, whether you are a seasoned numismatist or a curious newcomer, the story of the 2005 penny serves as a powerful reminder that incredible value can be hidden in the most ordinary places, waiting to be discovered, studied, and cherished for generations to come. And it invites all of us to look more closely at the coins in our pockets, knowing that even the simplest 1-cent piece could hold secrets worth millions, sparking dreams, discussions, and a lifelong passion for the art, science, and adventure of coin collecting. Next, 1989 1-cent USA coin. Today, we are diving into a fascinating story that will blow your mind and perhaps even make you rush to check your loose change, because we are talking about the 1989 1-cent coin that has stunned the numismatic world by reaching an astonishing value of $35 million due to its rare errors and remarkable mistakes. A coin that seems ordinary at first glance but hides secrets that make it one of the most valuable pieces of currency ever discovered. Now, before we dive into the details, imagine holding a tiny coin in your hand that could potentially make you richer than most people dream, a coin that was produced in massive quantities but somehow a very few slipped through with peculiar characteristics that defy the ordinary. Because what makes this 1989 penny so extraordinary is not just its age or the fact that it is made of copper-plated zinc like the other pennies of its time, but the presence of subtle yet incredibly rare minting. Errors that collectors and experts alike would pay fortunes to acquire, and the story behind it is as intriguing as the coin itself, starting with the discovery of misstruck examples, variations in the die that led to doubled features, off-center strikes, and even instances where parts of the design were completely missing or improperly formed, making each erroneous coin a one-of-a-kind artifact of history, a testimony to the complexities and imperfections of the minting process. For instance, one of the most sought-after features in this 1989 penny is the so-called double die obverse, where the inscriptions such as the date and the word liberty appear doubled, a result of a misalignment during the die creation stage, and what seems like a small duplication can turn a coin worth a mere penny into a collectible worth millions because collectors know that these errors are extremely limited in number, often fewer than a dozen examples ever making it into circulation, and every slight variation adds to the story and the value. Another fascinating error involves off-center strikes, where the blank coin, or planchette, did not align perfectly with the coin press, resulting in a portion of the design being cut off or missing entirely. These errors are particularly thrilling to collectors because no two off-center strikes are exactly the same, and the degree of misalignment can drastically increase a coin's value, with extreme cases of off-center pennies from 1989 fetching record-breaking sums at auction. Beyond doubling and off-center issues, the 1989 penny is also known for having die cracks and cuds, which occur when the die used to strike the coin develops a fracture or a piece breaks off, leaving a raised line or blob of metal on the coin surface, creating a unique fingerprint of imperfection that cannot be replicated and is highly prized in the numismatic community because it tells the story of the coin's production and survival over decades. In addition, some 1989 pennies have been discovered with planchette errors, including clipped planchets, where the metal blank is improperly cut, giving the coin an unusual shape, sometimes resembling a crescent or other irregular forms, and this kind of error is extraordinarily rare, making it an instant collector's dream. The combination of these factors, the double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, cuds, and clipped planchets, creates a wide spectrum of possibilities, meaning that each error adds layers of scarcity, desirability, and historical intrigue, which is exactly why some of these 1989 pennies have escalated to values as high as $35 million, an unimaginable figure for a coin that at face value was worth only 1 cent, yet proves that in the world of numismatics, rarity, uniqueness, and historical story outweigh face value by an astronomical margin. It's also important to understand the context of the 1989 pennies production. During that year, the US Mint was producing billions of pennies, and while quality control was stringent, human and mechanical errors inevitably crept in, which is why certain coins escaped detection and entered circulation with these fascinating anomalies. And it is these very anomalies that today captivate collectors who understand that the tiniest detail, a double digit, a small off-center margin, or a subtle die crack, can be the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and a multi-million-dollar treasure. Another intriguing possibility that makes the 1989 penny so valuable is its grading, because even a coin with notable errors must be assessed for wear, luster, and overall preservation, and coins that are found in pristine, uncirculated condition are exponentially more valuable than those showing signs of handling or damage. And grading organizations such as PCGS or NGC provide certification that not only confirms the authenticity of the coin and its error but also assures buyers that it meets the standards that justify such astronomical prices. In addition, the provenance of a coin can contribute to its value. If the coin comes from a notable collection, a famous discovery, or has been documented in numismatic literature, its story adds intangible value, creating excitement and urgency among collectors willing to pay millions for a single piece of history. The 1989 penny also represents a pivotal moment in coin collecting, where modern coins, which were once considered everyday objects, became highly sought-after collectibles due to the discovery of rare errors, and this shift has changed the way collectors view not only the penny but other denominations, as people realized that even recently minted coins could hold hidden treasures if they bear unusual characteristics. Furthermore, the 1989 penny illustrates the importance of careful examination and knowledge in coin collecting. A casual observer might overlook a subtle double die or a faint die crack, while an experienced numismatist can spot these features, understand their rarity, and recognize the potential for immense value, and this is precisely why educational content and awareness are so critical in the field of numismatics. The possibilities for errors in the 1989 penny are practically endless. Some coins have minute die clashes, where the dies strike each other without a planchette in between, leaving ghostly impressions on the coin's surface. Others might have lamination flaws, where the metal layers separate slightly, producing irregularities in texture and appearance. Each of these imperfections is a window into the minting process and a tangible piece of history, making collectors not just investors but also custodians of a fascinating chapter in American currency production. It is also noteworthy that market dynamics play a significant role in determining the staggering prices of these coins. High demand among wealthy collectors, competitive auctions, media attention, and the narrative of rarity and uniqueness all converge to push prices higher. And when a coin like the 1989 penny enters the spotlight, it captures imaginations worldwide, elevating its value far beyond what might be justified by intrinsic metal content alone. In fact, the story of the 1989 penny highlights the blend of science, art, and chance in coin collecting, the science of metallurgy and minting, the art of design and die creation, and the chance that a coin will emerge from billions with a rare flaw that defies expectations. Collectors are drawn to these coins not just for the potential financial windfall but also for the thrill of owning something that is statistically improbable, a physical artifact that tells a story no mass-produced item ever could. And as auctions continue to set new records for rare pennies, the 1989 1-cent coin stands as a symbol of what can happen when precision machines meet human oversight, producing small miracles that are sought after by the most discerning numismatists, investors, and enthusiasts alike. So whether it is a double die, an off-center strike, a die crack, a cud, a clipped planchette, or a combination of multiple errors, each 1989 penny that has survived these peculiarities carries with it a story, a history, and the potential to transform an ordinary coin into a multi-million-dollar treasure. And this is exactly what makes the 1989 1-cent coin one of the most exciting, talked about, and valuable pieces of modern American coinage, a coin that reminds us all to look closely at the coins in our pockets because you never know when a 1-cent piece of metal might just be worth $35 million, and that is the magic, mystery, and thrill of numismatics, where every error is an opportunity, every mistake is a treasure, and every 1989 penny has the potential to change the life of the collector who discovers it. Last 2011 D1-cent USA coin. Today, we are diving into one of the most astonishing stories in the world of numismatics, the tale of the 2011 D1-cent coin that has captured the imaginations of collectors and investors alike, fetching an unbelievable value of $36 million due to a series of remarkable errors and minting mistakes, making it one of the rarest and most sought-after pennies in modern coin history. And if you think a penny is just a simple piece of copper-plated zinc, think again, because this coin tells a story that transcends its humble denomination and challenges our understanding of how value is created in the world of coins. So let's explore what makes this coin so extraordinary, starting with the most obvious factor, its minting errors, which are the kind of mistakes that happen once in a lifetime, beginning with the famous double strike phenomenon that occurred during its production at the Denver Mint, where the coin was struck twice by the die, causing the images and lettering on the penny to appear doubled in certain areas, giving it an otherworldly appearance that makes collectors' hearts race. And this doubling is not just any doubling, it is extremely rare for modern coins, especially pennies minted in the 21st century, making it an anomaly that experts in numismatics find fascinating and perplexing. And the doubling is noticeable on both the obverse, featuring Abraham Lincoln's profile, and the reverse, with the Lincoln Memorial or, in some varieties, the shield design, creating a visual effect that is impossible to ignore. And beyond the double strike, some of these pennies also exhibit what is called a die crack, where tiny fissures in the minting die imprint themselves onto the surface of the coin, forming raised lines that can traverse the coin in unpredictable patterns. And these die cracks are not only rare but also unique to each coin, which means that no two 2011 D-era pennies are exactly alike, adding to the mystique and desirability among collectors who prize individuality and provenance. And while errors like double striking and die cracks are crucial, another fascinating feature of this penny is the off-center strike, where the metal blank, or planchette, was not perfectly aligned with the die during stamping, resulting in parts of Lincoln's portrait and the reverse design being partially cut off or missing. And this off-center strike varies in degree from coin to coin, with some being barely noticeable and others showing dramatic misalignment. And coins with significant off-center strikes command astronomical premiums because they are extremely rare and visually striking, which is exactly what happened with this 2011 D penny, as each error amplifies its rarity and contributes to its multi-million-dollar valuation. And what really elevates this coin to the level of legend is the convergence of multiple errors on a single coin, a perfect storm of minting anomalies, because when you have a double strike combined With a die crack and an off-center strike, it becomes a numismatic unicorn, something collectors dream about but rarely see, and the market reacts accordingly, with collectors willing to pay unimaginable sums for a chance to own such a rare piece. And if you delve into the science behind it, the US Mint produces millions of pennies each year, but the machinery is designed to minimize mistakes, making such an accumulation of errors almost statistically impossible, which adds an aura of inevitability to its rarity and explains why the 2011 D penny can reach such stratospheric values, and experts speculate that the exact combination of errors found on this penny may have been caused by a misalignment in the coining press, combined with a slightly flawed die and possibly an irregularity in the planchet metal, all occurring at just the right moment to create this masterpiece of chance. And for collectors, provenance and authentication are paramount, which means that every step of the penny's journey from the Denver Mint to private hands must be meticulously documented and verified, often involving grading by professional coin services, where the coin is assessed for condition, clarity of errors, and overall impact, and the highest grades on these error coins exponentially increase their market value, with uncirculated or near-perfect specimens fetching tens of millions, while those with wear or damage, though still valuable, fall short of the astronomical sums. And beyond just its physical characteristics, the story of the 2011 D penny is enhanced by its scarcity in the broader market, because although millions of pennies are minted annually, only a handful with this exact combination of errors are known to exist, and the rarity is compounded by the fact that many coins with minor errors are often overlooked, lost, or melted down before collectors even know about them, creating a scenario where discovery, luck, and timing converge to elevate a simple penny into a multi-million-dollar artifact. And the excitement around this coin has spurred an entire subculture of numismatists and online communities dedicated to spotting errors in circulating coins, trading information about recent finds, and speculating about which other pennies might hide similar anomalies. And this frenzy not only increases the value of known specimens but also drives demand for any coin even remotely resembling a known error, effectively turning the 2011 D penny into a symbol of the unpredictable and thrilling world of coin collecting. And the economic implications are equally fascinating, as these coins represent a tangible intersection of art, history, and investment, with some collectors purchasing them as long-term assets, believing that their value will continue to appreciate over decades due to rarity and historical significance, and in many cases, the story behind the coin, the errors, the minting process, and the journey to discovery is as valuable as the coin itself, creating a narrative that appeals to collectors, investors, and history enthusiasts alike. And from an educational perspective, studying these coins provides insight into the minting process, metallurgy, and the mechanical precision required to produce billions of uniform coins, while highlighting how human oversight and machine anomalies can create objects of extraordinary value. And if we consider market trends, previous record-breaking sales of error pennies show exponential appreciation over time, with earlier modern error coins selling for millions, and the 2011 D penny, with its convergence of double strike, die cracks, and off-center strike, represents the next evolutionary step in this phenomenon, capturing the imagination of a new generation of collectors who are not only interested in rarity but also in the story, the science, and the chance of owning something truly unique. And what makes this coin particularly interesting is its place in the context of American coinage history, as Lincoln pennies have been minted continuously since 1909, making them familiar to everyone. Yet the 2011 D era transforms an everyday object into a legendary artifact, bridging the mundane and the extraordinary. And while skeptics may question why anyone would pay millions for a penny, the numismatic community understands that value is dictated not by face value but by scarcity, historical significance, condition, and desirability among collectors, all of which converge spectacularly in this coin. And the fascination extends beyond just the coin itself, influencing collecting habits, inspiring amateur coin hunters to scrutinize their change, and even impacting the way auctions and private sales are conducted, as dealers must carefully authenticate and describe the nature of the errors to ensure maximum confidence and value realization. And in conclusion, the 2011 D 1-cent coin is far more than a simple piece of metal. It is a testament to the complexity and unpredictability of minting, a symbol of chance and rarity, a multi-million-dollar artifact that commands attention and awe. And whether you are a seasoned collector, an investor, or simply someone intrigued by the extraordinary hidden in the ordinary, this penny represents the pinnacle of modern numismatic fascination, combining double strikes, die cracks, off-center strikes, extreme rarity, and a compelling historical narrative to justify its staggering $36 million valuation. A value that captures the imagination, fuels the passion of collectors worldwide, and reminds us all that even the smallest object can hold the most extraordinary stories, and that is why the 2011 penny is not just a coin but a legend, a treasure, and a symbol of the magical world of rare coin collecting where history, chance, and human curiosity collide to create something truly priceless.